This video will address how to create a new staff member in Venus. Please note for this guide we will be using the term staff or employee to identify the worker. For the menu label, you have the ability to rename the staff menu to anything you wish, for example, support worker, employee, or nurse. Each staff member will have a staff profile detailing their information. This will include the following: taxation, superannuation, their bank details for payment, the roles they can work in, and assorted variables that assist in filtering shifts appropriate to their level, skill, qualifications, and preferences. To create a new employee in Venus, open the staff menu by selecting staff in the menu bar and then selecting staff again in the submenu, or press F1. The toolbar will now appear ready to edit your staff list. The toolbar presents the following options: Edit, which will allow you to edit the currently highlighted employee; View all, pre-active, active, and inactive, which will filter the list of employees to show all or only those that are pre-active, active, and inactive; Print, which will print the list of employees shown in the staff screen; Insert, to create a new employee entry; Refresh, to update the list of staff to include any changes made by other internal admin staff; Find, to search the list of employees; Month, which navigate to the month view screen; Close and Exit, which close the current screen or exit the application. To create a new employee, click the Insert button. You'll be prompted to complete the essential basic details for the employee, such as personal and contact details. The occupational section collects information on the registrations the employee holds and the primary type or role that they will be undertaking for the majority of their placements. The ability to add secondary roles can be done through the Alternate Types tab of the staff profile screen. Taxation is where you will need to enter an employee's tax information, including tax file number, taxation code, any voluntary amounts of tax paid in addition to PAYG obligations, and any ATO statuses that impact tax amounts withheld. Banking details will be where you enter the bank account to receive the salary or wages. In this section, you can also identify the email address to send pay slips to, or if the employee should be excluded from the bank transfer if not paying them via Venus. Superannuation is where you will select the fund to be used for the staff member. You can also edit any additional amounts to be paid into the employee's super fund and select if that additional payment forms part of the SGC payments or is voluntary. Before Venus will save a new staff member to the database, it will ask you to re-enter some of the captured data to prevent typographical errors in that critical data. Once the profile is created, you can then navigate and complete the tabs within their profile. For detail on how to complete each of these tabs individually, please use the search function in the This Planet knowledge base. Tabs that present with blue text are not editable directly from the tab screen, but will require you to click the Actions buttons below the Active tab to edit or add to. The tabs available are Summary. The Summary tab will show the data that you entered in the initial creation of the staff profile. It will also aggregate various data from other tabs to assist with quick access to commonly used data. Personal details. Personal details will be where you detail the pay cycle and active status, along with additional data that can be used to filter the employee's appropriateness for a particular shift. Occupational. This tab allows you to maintain the employee's staff type and rate level. In addition, you can also detail limitations or employability restrictions such as visa type, maximum hours the employee is able to work, and student or trainee status. Alternate types allows the addition of staff types that the individual can also work, in addition to their primary type as detailed in the Occupational tab. The Tax tab is where you can edit tax defaults for the employee. Banking contains the bank details, secondary bank details, and the option to hold payments. Payments can be held indefinitely or held for a period of time. In the example given, we are holding payments for a week. This may be useful for scenarios where a timesheet for a single week may be disputed, but you have other rosters worked that need to be paid for other weeks not under dispute. Super is where additional contributions can be configured and where the correct fund and member number can be edited. Photo tab is for the optional module that enables the printing of staff ID cards. The Checks tab is present on both the client profile and the staff profile and holds any optional or mandatory checks that impact an employee's eligibility to work at client sites that have the equivalent check flagged as mandatory or not. Having a start date and no end date makes the check valid indefinitely. Having a start date and an end date makes the check valid for that period of time. And no start or end date means the check is always active. Likewise, categories is also present on both the client and staff profiles and is a tool to assist in grouping staff into categories that assist in further filtering matches for roster requests. Categories can be of any type that you choose, and multiple categories can be applied to an employee. Certificates is where you are able to keep track of any certificates and professional development that the staff member may have participated in. Departments tab is where you can detail departments that the employee either should be considered a priority for or departments they should be excluded from. You can use a different staff member to template from and copy their departments and exclusion statuses in full by using the Add Department as per another button. Preferences, similarly to departments, is where you can detail an employee's preferred client sites or non-preferred client sites. Similarly to departments, you can use another staff member's profile to template the defaults from. The Contacts tab can feed into the Summary screen if the Summary screen tick box is selected. Notes is a list of free text notes that can be assigned to the Summary screen. The Payslips tab can be used to see all historic payslips. Experience is a tab that tracks the hours and shift count of rosters worked for a particular site, divided by the staff type and level. Permanent availability sets an employee as available or unavailable within a date range on specific days and for specific morning, afternoon, or night shifts. If no end date is entered, the availability becomes a permanent availability. When unavailable, the shifts on this screen will have a strike through. Once the availability is applied, it cannot be edited until the Apply button is deselected. Linked Documents allows you to attach files to the employee profile. Selecting Insert will bring you to a file selection screen where you can create a permanent navigation to that file. The Email tab records all past emails to the individual and also provides an avenue to send a message directly to the employee. The Registration tab is where you can track any documentation sent to the employee to complete. You are able to manage the sent and received status, or simply have the registration item as present without being sent or received by omitting the tick boxes at point of configuration of the registration item. Comments is a screen where you can have text appear upon every roster assignment for this individual. This text is also viewable as staff comments when right-clicking on any rosters that the employee is assigned to. OH&S is present to identify any OH&S incidents that must be noted. SMS tracks the SMS or Venus Connect app messages to this individual. Languages assists with finding appropriate staff for patients that may have English as a second language. Skills is an additional filtration tool engaged at the point of rating a potential employee for a roster. Payment Summaries is a legacy screen being preserved for any future adaptations of the single-touch payroll reporting system that may require the reactivation of Payment Summaries.